You are watching Sipping Off the Cuff on TequilaAficionado.com, part of Tequila Aficionado Media. I'm Alex Perez,
I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger,
and my
the
friend,
Governator.
Mike,
I'm Mike
Mike the
Burrell,
Terminator.
the Terminator, the Exterminator. I'm Mike here in San Antonio. Hi, welcome to Sipping
Welcome
Off the
to the
Cuff.
Wacky Tequila Aficionado Show.
Alex, I'm so happy that we're finally doing a Tequila 101. This is the education of a tequila
Doing
drinker.
glassware.
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 That's right. You'll see us use it almost exclusively Riedel Ouverture tequila glasses.
Yes.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Riedel has moved the Overture. This particular glass is now considered part of another collection. Um, and I understand it's even more expensive than what it was before. So you might want to look it up on Amazon, look it up on their
More than $10 a
website.
glass?
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Ouch.
And they sell them in pairs now. It used to be you could get them in fours. Now they said they're so expensive. Now they sell them in pairs.
Wow.
If you can find yourself a deal on Amazon or eBay for Riedel Ouverture, and they spell it as they spell it in France, Ouverture, do so because they're really well worth having. Um, and
Yeah.
and as we discussed in our earlier passage, Alex, the original Riedel Overture glass was developed initially by the Riedel family for reposados. I'm not exactly sure what the thinking was behind that. Um, at the time, reposados, I guess in 2001, when in December when they released the glass to the public, reposados were a big thing, I guess, in tequila. Now with terroir being a big thing, the regions and the types of agave and the growing regions, I think it's important now that we have more than one glass
I agree.
for certain types. But we're gonna for tonight, for right now, I think we're gonna try some reposado. This is the Época
Oh, man.
Dorada
Yeah.
reposado, which we have done the tasting
Yeah,
for.
we had one of the shows.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This
The
is
eagle head. The eagle.
the eagle has landed. Oh, look at that. Does it fit on top of the glass? Almost. Uh,
Beautiful bottle.
yeah, it's a gorgeous bottle with gorgeous juice. We actually nominated it for Brand of Promise, and you've seen us use the glassware, in several different ways. Obviously, if you tilt it, you can see the legs and tiers, right? Alex has better lighting than I do on some of that. Mine's a little too bright, but you get the idea. You can swirl it around. If you hold it by the stem or the foot, you'll be able to see legs and tiers. Now, as we've said in the past, that's not a guarantee that your tequila is going to be the greatest, but it's good to see these.
Sure, they're good signs.
And this one, you can see where the color, you'll be able to see the true color. And Alex, I think you were using a napkin or something at the time.
I've got a little white card.
Yeah, something like this. I have a white napkin, and it even looks paler if I do that.
Yeah, it depends on the balance.
Yeah, I think so.
White. There you go. You got a pretty embroidered napkin.
Thank you.
So we're using a reposado in this Riedel Overture glass,
hmm And
which is really what it's for.
Alex, walk me through how you sniff, because people have watched me do it, but I know you come from the wine industry, and learn, probably at the foot of a lot of masters. So when you attack a spirit, when you attack tequila, what do you normally, how do you go from one end to the other, or do you go straight in? What?
Well, my process is nowhere near as scientific. But what I like to do, and I like to pay attention to, Mike, as soon as I pour it, is I like to see if there's anything already coming out of the glass without even stirring it, or swirling it, I should say.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times, with tequila with a big nose, you'll get that right away. You'll get that explosion
You mean
without
like right now?
yeah, exactly, without you even putting your nose in it,
Wow.
which is this tequila now. So then, I love to attack it from far away, and then I'll go ahead and partition the glass and do it from the sides too, because you want to get as much surface inside your nose, and obviously see what nuances you pick up. So you can usually break up the glass in threes, right on top, right on the ends. And if you do that, you'll notice that you do pick up different smells, different nuances than that you would just sticking your nose in it. And sometimes you'll have a tequila with just so much alcohol that you don't want to stick your nose in there. You're going to burn your nose.
Yeah, you start to burn nose hairs and stuff.
Yeah. And then your nose is shot for a little while
Yeah,
because
after that, it's really it's almost like you had just taken a shot. A lot of people will see me do the. I like doing similar to Alex. I like doing left brain, right brain.
there you go.
So I will go to the extremes and go from left nostril to right nostril and literally face those
Literally face,
directions.
huh? Yeah.
And you'll see me with my mouth open as well because you can literally 70% depending on who you talk to 70 to 80% of your tasting is actually in your nose
That's
in your
right.
nasal passages, so you can literally taste your tequila before you ingest it.
Yeah, Mike, that's a very good point.
And this one, Alex, is just, as we mentioned before, chock full of just agave. It's got a great agave punch in there.
Yeah, you can smell the agave, you can smell the dried fruit. You get the wood notes coming through from the reposado and the rested tequila. Love it.
So now we're going to taste.
Now I like the way the Riedel positions the tequila on the tongue
Hmm.
or the entry on the mouth.
So you feel that the Riedel actually covers the palate in the correct manner, where you sense the sweetness at the front,
Yes,
the bitterness or sour uh, on the sides, or saltiness, brininess on the
saltiness.
side,
Here you go. Your saltiness
and
on the
then
sides.
on the back of the palate, every once in a while you'll hear us say we'll sense pepper or the finish. Once you swallow, you'll feel a like a I
Right,
call it the warm fuzzy. You've heard me say that before,
right,
the warm fuzzy. And so,
right.
as we mentioned before, as opposed to the mouth surface of the shot glass, where you only cover your front, which is where all the sweetness is. The Riedel glass allows much more mouth surface coverage, much more palate coverage,
Right.
and it's really a testament to the Riedel engineering that they did that. Now tequila, I will say that tequila's changed so much from 2001 to now. In 14, 15 years, I think the way that tequila is manufactured and produced, and including the shortcuts, Alex. We've talked about diffusers. You can
Well,
find articles on diffusers on our website at tequilaaficionado.com. Um, I think that the styles of tequila have changed, and I think maybe it's time for the Riedel family or someone. There's lots of glassware makers out there. There's Libby, there's Riedel, there's Glencairn, which we're going to cover later on.
well,
There's Stoltzle, which is another company that's been around for a long time, and they're also very reputable. We're hoping to get some samples from them here very shortly and have them tell us a little bit more about themselves. But in the meantime, this is what we got. This is the main tools. It's like your favorite hammer, your favorite screwdriver.
this is
Um,
it.
this is it. I will say that this is for me, Alex. I don't know about you, but when I first try a new tequila, I will use a Riedel. But once I pretty much have a handle on what to expect from it, I will drink it out of my snifter.
Oh, there you go.
Because to me, and you'll see the snifter has a much wider mouth surface and much wider opening.
Right.
Um, by the way, if you've never experimented with your glassware, you'll realize that the same the same sample changes uh, the aromas, the tastes will change from one glass to the other to the other. And so that's why it's always important to have more than to have an arsenal, to have a toolkit that you can rely on, that gives you a real good feel um, for the spirit, whatever spirit it is. I mean, you could be a whiskey drinker watching us, but with a snifter, you don't necessarily get you get more nose, I think. I mean, it all comes at you. There's no prep. You're but for me, it's not having to use my tools all the time. It's just, for sipping purposes.
Sure. And you know what? The difference too is you've got a much wider surface area, so a lot more oxygen content in the glass. So it tends to open up. For me, it opens up even more. Even this Repo that we just tried in the Riedel
Yes.
transferred over to the snifter. Um, um,
It's a much stronger aroma.
the aroma is much stronger in the glass, and it's opened up more, and it's actually it'll taste a little different on the palate.
Hmm.
I think it's the mouth, the position of it laying in your mouth, and then also now you're getting all this mixture of air, of
Well,
oxygen.
Alex, in the past, people can check on tequilaaficionado.com for the Venturi aerator. We've used an aerator. I use it now in extreme cases where maybe there's way too much alcohol. It just needs to be aerated. I don't want to swirl, or I don't want to wait too long. I mean, there are times I open up a brand new bottle and I let it sit there
Yeah, you
for.
can't necessarily decant a bottle of tequila.
Yeah, you can, but you better drink it in about 2 3 days, because
Right, right.
it's not like a wine or a. Yeah, it's very tequila is very different than a Scotch or a bourbon or even a rum. You know, it's very um, capricious. You know, a spirit, and so, but yeah, I can. Again, you get a full-on attack though, and some people may not be. You may not be ready for something for that. As you said, Alex, this glass, the Riedel glass, allows us to dissect probably a little bit more in detail. Although I will say that there are times where it either depends on the tequila or just the time of day when you and I are taping. Sometimes we're taping in the middle of the night. Sometimes early in the afternoon. It we really have to dig in. Just
Yeah,
really have to go in there to try to grab something, out of your sample. And that could be for a variety of reasons. I like to blame the tequila, but it could
so
be the
it could be the tool.
it could be the operator. We could be tired or whatever. The,
Sure.
the rule is that your taste buds are at their peak at 11 o'clock in the morning. And most often, when you have catadores doing tastings, either in Mexico or for certification, or even at some shows, they start at 11 o'clock, and they limit it to a certain amount of samples. So, but then again, that varies from show to show to show.
Sure, sure.
Um, but anyhow, I
Good.
think that kind of. Is there anything else you want to cover, Alex, with the Riedel and different types of glassware, and the foundational stuff that we've been covering?
Sure. Well, I think glassware is a fascinating topic, just like ice is fascinating when you talk to people that like cocktails.
Yeah.
So it's so diverse when it comes to the different types of glass, and then everybody's palate is so different. You might not necessarily like the Riedel glass. You'll like something else because of the way you taste.
You
And
might like a plain old champagne glass.
yeah,
You know.
exactly, exactly. And you might be able, who knows, you might be a super taster and be able to grab things out of a regular glass that we can't detect. So, everyone is different. But the neat thing is that you can experiment. So we'd love to hear from you. We'd love
Yes.
to hear from you. Please write your comments down there on
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 our
the area
YouTube,
down there.
on the YouTube channel, subscribe. Don't be afraid to click the button and
Yeah,
subscribe.
we want to hear.
Um, Let us know. Show us. You can send us emails. You can comment on the comments below. Tell us what your favorite types of glass. What's your go-to glassware when you get a new sample, a new bottle of tequila? You can't wait to try it. What are you using? What are you using? You've seen us. You've done enough. We've done enough of these. You've watched this. If you've been following us for any length of time, you know that we have, the Riedel glass is the go-to glass. But in our next segment, Alex, we're going to be discussing these babies. These are from Glencairn, the Glencairn Glassware Company out of the UK. And we're going to discuss them a little bit more in our next segment. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Alex Perez in Southern California, watching Sipping Off the Cuff on TequilaAficionado.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, sip wisely.